Hello friends, welcome back. This is the lecture number 4 on worm gears. In this lecture, we will discuss the following points: friction in worm gears, efficiency of worm gears, selection of materials for worm and worm wheel, and here we solve a few numericals based on a force analysis. Friction in worm gears. Everyone carefully observe the sketch which is shown on the screen. Worm axis, worm wheel axis, pitch helix. On this figure there is a velocity triangle V1, V2, Vs, and the angle is gamma. It has been observed that in case of worm gears, it has been observed that the coefficient of friction in worm gear drives depend upon the rubbing speed. Remember this. The coefficient of friction in case of a worm gear drive is depend upon rubbing speed. Rubbing speed is the relative velocity between worm and worm wheel. Now observe the sketch in figure. There is a velocity triangle. In velocity triangle, V1 is the pitch line velocity of a worm in meter per second. V2 is the pitch line velocity of a worm wheel in meter per second, and V suffix S is the rubbing velocity in meter per second. Now, here we first of all find out the pitch line velocity of worm. We know the relation for pitch line velocity. V is equal to pi dn divided by 16 to 10 to the power 3. Okay, now the pitch line velocity of worm V1 is equal to pi d1 n1 divided by 16 to 10 to the power 3. Now again everyone observe the figure. Using this sketch we find out the rubbing velocity. Okay, for finding the rubbing velocity we consider this velocity triangle. From velocity triangle again we consider a cos gamma. Cos gamma is equal to adjacent side to the hypotenuse. Adjacent side is the pitch line velocity of worm, and hypotenuse is the rubbing velocity, and therefore cos gamma is equal to V1 divided by Vs. Therefore Vs is equal to V1 divided by cos gamma. We know the value of V1. V1 is the pitch line velocity of worm. That value we have to substitute in that relation, and we get the relation for rubbing velocity. Vs is equal to pi d1 n1 divided by 60,000 cos gamma. Again everyone observe the figure which is shown on the screen. Figure name is coefficient of friction of worm gears. In this figure, on x-axis there is a rubbing speed Vs in meter per second, and the value is vary on x-axis 0 to 15. On y-axis the coefficient of friction mu, and the value of that coefficient of friction varies from 0.012 to 0.150. The values of coefficient of friction in this figure are based on two assumptions. First assumption, the worm wheel is made up of phosphorus bronze while the worm is made up of case hardened steel. Remember this. This figure or this chart is used only if the worm wheel is made up of phosphorus bronze and the worm wheel is made up of a case hardened steel. In case of other material, this chart is not applicable to get the value of a coefficient of friction. Second assumption, the gears are lubricated with mineral oils having a viscosity of 16 to 30 centistoke at 60 degrees Celsius. Again remember this chart is applicable only that gear drive lubricated with mineral oil having a viscosity 60 to 30 centistoke and at a temperature 16 degrees Celsius. This is about the friction in worm gears. Next bit is efficiency of worm gears. Now this is the small derivation for efficiency of worm gear drive. This derivation is asked for 3 to 4 mark in university examination. That's why carefully observe this derivation and try to practice. Now everyone knows how to find out the efficiency. The efficiency of worm gear drive is given by efficiency is equal to power output divided by power input. Power output is torque of a worm wheel into speed of a worm wheel divided by output power input power. See, output power is equal to torque of worm wheel into speed of worm wheel. Input power is equal to torque of worm into speed of worm. Okay, now efficiency is equal to torque that is known to you, tangential force into the radius. Okay, tangential force into the radius. Therefore the torque for worm wheel, tangential force P2T into D2 by 2 into speed N2, that is the power output from worm gear drive. Then power input for worm, torque for worm P1T torque, that is known to the known to relation is known to you for torque. Torque is the tangential force into the radius, and that is for worm. That relation is applied here for worm. Tangential force P1T into D1 divided by 2 into speed of worm N1. That relation for input power. Okay. Now here we have to substitute this value in power output and power input. Efficiency is equal to P2T into D2 by 2 into N2 whole divided by P1T into D1 by 2 into N1. 2 get cancelled. That equation is considered as equation number 1. Now from equation 1 we find out the value of D2 by D1 and N2 by N1. When we get these two values, that value we have to substitute in equation A, and we get the relation for efficiency of worm gear drives. Okay, let me find. Here we know that the speed ratio for worm gear, is speed of worm to the speed of worm wheel, means N1 divided by N2. But here there is a reciprocal, N2 divided by N1 is equal to reciprocal of a speed ratio. Consider equation B. Again D2 by D1, D2 is the pitch circle diameter of worm wheel, that is M into Z2, and D1 is the pitch circle diameter of worm, that is Q into M. Okay, now these two value we have to substitute in that ratio. D2 by D1 is equal to M into Z2 divided by MQ. M get cancelled and we get a relation Z2 divided by Q. D2 by D1 is equal to Z2 divided by Q, and from this relation we have to divided by Z1. Z2 by Z1 divided by Q Z2 divided by Z1 whole divided by Q divided by Z1. Z2 by Z1 is known to you, that is the speed ratio I. Remember that I is equal to, see what I said, I is equal to Z2 divided by Z1. Z2 is the number of teeth on a worm, Z1 is the number of starts on worm, and again I is equal to N1 divided by N2. Okay, remember that Z2 divided by Z1 is equal to I, speed ratio. And again we know the relation for lead angle, tan gamma is equal to Z1 divided by Q, number of start to the diameter quotient. Here there is a reciprocal, that's why Q divided by Z1 is equal to 1 divided by tan gamma. And finally we get the relation for D2 by D1 is equal to I tan gamma. Consider equation C. Now these two equation B and C, we have to substitute in equation A. Therefore efficiency is equal to P2T divided by P1T into D2 by D1 is equal to I into tan gamma into N2 divided by N1 is equal to 1 by I. I get cancel, and finally we get the relation for efficiency is equal to P2T divided by P1T into tan gamma. Now again, here we remember the force analysis of worm gears. Okay, now here we know the relation between resultant tooth force act on a worm and worm wheel. Here we know that the tangential component of a worm wheel is equal to the axial component of a worm. That's why this equation is again modified. Efficiency is equal to P1A divided by P1T into tan gamma. Now in that relation, in the equation of efficiency, here we again substitute the relation of a axial and tangential component of a worm. We know the axial component of a worm, P1T into inside the bracket cos alpha cos gamma minus mu sin gamma, bracket complete, divided by cos alpha sin gamma plus mu cos gamma, whole divided by P1T into tan gamma. P1T get cancelled, and finally we get a relation for efficiency is equal to tan gamma into inside the bracket cos alpha cos gamma minus mu sin gamma, whole divided by cos alpha sin gamma plus mu cos gamma. Now here tan gamma is known to you, sin divided by cos, sin gamma divided by cos gamma, and use this relation and simplify this relation for efficiency. After simplification we get a final equation for efficiency of worm gear drives. Efficiency of worm gear drives is equal to cos alpha minus mu tan gamma divided by cos alpha plus mu cot gamma. Using this relation we find out the efficiency of worm gear drives. Again remember that this derivation is asked in university examination for 3 to 4 marks. Next point, selection of materials for worm and worm wheel. The selection of materials for worm and worm wheel is more limited that it is for other type of gears. First of all, we discuss the material selection for worm. The threads of worm are subjected to fluctuating stresses, and the number of stress cycle is fairly large. Therefore, the surface endurance strength is an important criteria in the selection of worm material. Remember that material selection criteria for worm is surface endurance strength. The core of worm should be kept ductile and tough to ensure maximum energy absorption. Therefore, the worms are made up of case hardened steel with a surface hardness of 60 HRC and case depth of 0.75 to 4.5 millimeter. Okay, now here the material for worm is case hardened steel with a hardness of 60 HRC and case depth of 0.75 to 4.5 millimeter. Okay, some various steels are used for worms, that is also shown on the that's steel shown on the screen. Normalizer carbon steels, case hardened carbon steels, case hardened alloy steel, and nickel chromium steels. Similarly, here we discuss the material selection for worm wheel. The magnitude of contact stresses on the worm wheel teeth is the same as that of a worm threads. The number of stress cycle is reduced by a factor equal to the speed reduction. The worm wheel cannot be accurately generated in the hobbing process. The final profile and finish of a worm wheel teeth is the result of plastic deformation due to the initial stage of service. Therefore, the worm wheel material should be soft and conformable. Remember this, material for worm wheel should be soft and conformable. Okay, and therefore the phosphorus bronze with a surface hardness of 90 to 120 bhn is widely used for worm wheel. Okay, which material is used for worm wheel? Phosphorus bronze with a surface hardness of 90 to 120 bhn. Phosphorus bronze worm wheels are sand cast and chilled or centrifugally cast. Phosphorus bronze is costly, and in case of worm wheels with large dimensions, only the outer ring is made up of phosphorus bronze. It is then bolted to the cast iron wheel. There are two reasons for using dissimilar metal or heterogeneous material for worm and worm wheels. First, the coefficient of friction is reduced, and second, the conformability of worm wheel with respect to the worm is improved. In spur, helical or bevel gears, the same material can be used for pinion and gear. In worm gear drive, however, dissimilar materials are used for the worm and worm wheel. This is the material selections. This is the material selection for worm and worm wheel. Now, here let me solve a few numericals based on a force analysis and efficiency of worm gear drives. Okay, everyone carefully observe the problem statement which is shown on the screen. A pair of worm and worm wheel is designated as 3/60/10/6. The worm is transmitting 5 kilowatt power at 1440 rpm to the worm wheel. The coefficient of friction is 0.1 and the normal pressure angle is 20 degree. Determine the components of gear tooth force acting on worm and worm wheel. This is the problem statement. Now let me move towards the solution. First of all, we collect the given data. A pair of worm and worm wheel is designated as, we know the designation of worm gears Z1/Z2/Q/M. Z1 number of start is 3, Z2 number of teeth on a worm wheel 60, diametral quotient small q is equal to 10, module M is equal to 6 millimeter, power kilowatt is equal to 5, speed of worm N1 is equal to 1440 rpm, mu is equal to 0.1, and normal pressure angle alpha is equal to 20 degree. Step number first, component of a tooth force acting on a worm. Here we remember all the formulas which was discussed in a force analysis for the worm and worm wheel, means tangential component, axial component, and the radial component of worm, and similarly the tangential, axial, and radial component of worm wheel. Okay, for getting the for finding the these three components, first of all we need a diameter, lead angle, and torque which is transmitted. This point first of all we have to find in step number first. Pitch circle diameter of worm Q1 is equal to, D1 is equal to Q into M. Q is 10, module is 6. We get a pitch circle diameter of worm 60 millimeter. Next we find a lead angle. We know the relation for lead angle. Tan gamma is equal to Z1 divided by Q. Z1 is 3 and Q is 10. 3 by 10. We take a tan inverse of that, and therefore gamma is equal to 16.7 degree. Torque. We know the relation for torque. M suffix T is equal to 60 into 10 to the power 6 divided by kilowatt 60 into 10 to the power 6 into kilowatt divided by 2 pi n1. Now substitute the values. 60 into 10 to the power 6 into 5 divided by 2 pi into 1440 rpm. Simplify this and we get a value of torque 33,157.28 Newton millimeter. Now here we find out the first component of a resultant tooth force act on a worm, that is tangential component. P1T is equal to, we know the relation for tangential component for the worm. P1T is equal to 2m suffix t divided by d1. Here we substitute the value of torque and pitch circle diameter of worm. After substituting, we get the value of tangential component for the worm. P1T is equal to 1105.24 Newton. Consider equation A. Next component is the axial component of worm. We know the relation for axial component of worm. P1A is equal to P1T into, inside the bracket, cos alpha cos gamma minus mu sin gamma whole divided by, inside the bracket, cos alpha sin gamma plus mu cos gamma. Now in that relation we have to substitute the values of tangential component alpha and gamma. After substituting, we get the value of axial component of worm. P1A is equal to 2632.55 Newton. Consider equation B. And the last component of worm, that is radial component. We know the relation for radial component of worm. P1R is equal to P1T into sin alpha divided by, inside the bracket, cos alpha sin gamma plus mu cos gamma. Again in that relation we have to substitute the value of a tangential component P1T, alpha and gamma, and also the mu. Now after substituting, we get the value of a tangential component of a worm 1033.35 Newton. Consider equation C. Step number 2, component of a tooth force acting on a worm wheel. And here we know the relation between component of a worm and worm wheel. Resultant component of resultant tooth force, the relation between the component of resultant tooth force between worm and worm wheel. Okay, now the first component of a resultant component of a tooth force for worm wheel, P2T is equal to P1A, and that is equal to 2632.55 Newton. Second, axial component for the worm wheel, P2A is equal to P1T, and that is equal to 1105.24 Newton. And the last component of a worm wheel, radial, P2R is equal to P1R, and that is equal to 1033.35 Newton. This problem is asked for 6 mark in university examination, remember that. Okay, next problem, problem number 2. Everyone again read this problem statement carefully. 1 kilowatt power at 720 rpm is supplied to the worm shaft. The number of starts for threads on the worm is 4 with a 50 mm pitch circle diameter. The worm wheel has 30 teeth with 5 mm module. The normal pressure angle is 20 degree. Calculate the efficiency of worm gear drive and the power lost in friction. Take coefficient of friction is 0.035. This is the problem statement. Now let's move toward the solution. First of all, we collect the given data. Power kilowatt is equal to 1. Speed of worm N1 is equal to 720 rpm. Number of starts for thread of worm Z1 is equal to 4. Pitch circle diameter of worm D1 is equal to 50. Number of teeth on a worm wheel Z2 is equal to 30. Module M is equal to 5 mm. Normal pressure angle alpha is equal to 20 degree. And coefficient of friction mu is equal to 0.035. Okay. Now first of all, we find out the efficiency in step number first, and next we find out the power lost in friction in step number 2. Step number first, efficiency of worm gear drive. Now here we need a lead angle. Here we know the relation for efficiency of worm drive. Efficiency is equal to cos alpha minus mu tan gamma divided by cos alpha plus mu cot gamma. In this relation, alpha is known to you and mu is also known to you. Only gamma is unknown. Lead angle is unknown here. Okay. Now we know the relation for lead angle. Tan gamma is equal to Z1 divided by Q. Z1 is the number of start, that is given 4, and Q is the diametral quotient. Now how to get the value of diametral quotient? Q is equal to D1 by M. D1 is a 50 and M is the 5. Therefore Q is equal to 10. And therefore we use the relation for lead angle. Tan gamma is equal to Z1 by Q. Z1 is 4 divided by Q is 10. We get a 0.4, and take a tan inverse of 0.4. Tan inverse of 0.4, and we get the value of gamma is equal to 21.8. Now here we use the relation of efficiency. Efficiency is equal to cos gamma minus mu tan gamma divided by the relation of efficiency is equal to cos alpha minus mu tan gamma divided by cos alpha plus mu cot gamma. Now in that relation we just substitute the three values, alpha, gamma and mu. Cos 20 minus 0.035 tan 21.8 whole divided by cos 20 plus 0.035 cot 21.8. Simplify this, and after simplification we get the efficiency 0.9012, and therefore the efficiency of worm drive is equal to 90.12%. Next, power lost in friction. Step number 2, power lost in friction. Now here we know the relation for power lost in friction. 1 minus efficiency, inside the bracket 1 minus efficiency into kilowatt. Now here we know the efficiency. Now we know the efficiency and power. That two value we have to substitute in that relation. 1 minus 0.9012 into 1. Simplify this, and we get power lost in friction 0.0988 kilowatt, that is 98.8 watt. Thank you very much.